Cool. All right, Nate, are we recording?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Hey guys, David Dutton here, co-founder of Replace Your Mortgage. Just in case you didn't know that, because I'm more behind the scenes, and Michael's more the face of our company because he's actually the legit mortgage or HELOC expert or whatever. And so I do all the marketing, which I love. It's my favorite thing. But anyway, welcome to everybody. If we've never met, say hi. And thank you for trusting us. But listen, you may have seen this guy, Nate Lambert, who I'm interviewing today. You may have seen his short videos on in our Facebook group. He'll comment. He'll make posts about real estate investing. He's extremely successful. And one of his cool videos, he just posted some from Hawaii. He's been to Hawaii 7 times. But he's got this video on a Tesla. He bought his Tesla, and it was driving. He shows getting it out of the garage, and he wasn't even in the car. And it was just, you got to look it up. It's kind of cool. It's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy to think that happens, but it is cool. But anyway, so Nate, I thought I would introduce him. He's one of our partners here at Replace Your Mortgage, and I thought I would just do a quick interview with him just so you guys can get to know him, because a lot of you guys are approaching Michael and I about, okay, I'm paying off my home early. I've got access to money. What do I do with it? Now, we're not financial planners or accountants or tax attorneys, so we don't claim to be. But, what we do is just say, hey, here's some options. This is what I'm doing. And my journey might not be your journey, but this is kind of some things we're doing. We're a big fan of real estate. That's where I'm putting a lot of my money. And it's Nate is doing some great things. I thought I'd just do an interview with him for you guys so you can get to know him. You can reach out. So, by the way, it's investingwithnatelambert.com. So investingwithnatelambert.com. You can go check him out. So, all right. Thanks for joining us, Nate. That's super short introduction. But thanks for taking the time to do the interview today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad to be on with you, Dave. I'm a big fan of Replace Your Mortgage. It's helped a lot of people.
So tell me a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background pre-real estate investing.
Well, I was actually a professor of family psychology. Got my PhD and learned from a great mentor out in Florida. I'm from Utah originally, but I moved all the way to Florida because I know for success you need mentorship. And Frank Fincham, my mentor, taught me how to publish. I published 70 articles, seven books, traveled around the world presenting my research. And then ultimately, Dave, I just got really bored. I'm like, man, how many more research articles can I write? And how many people really stay up on a Friday night reading research articles, right? Like nobody.
Right.
And so I wanted to have more of an impact. I started reading all the books I could find on how to build wealth. And you know what almost all of them said was to invest in real estate. 74% of millionaires are made through real estate investing. And so, I jumped in and got started.
That's awesome. That's kind of my journey last year when I was looking at stuff. I plan on, I've got a 401k, I've got an IRA, I've got rental property. Like I plan on doing commercial property. I plan on doing a lot, all the above, but real estate is definitely where most of my money is going to be. Of all the research, the wealthy people I hired last year, accountants and financial planners and all that, basically rental property for me, is what I'm interested in. It seemed like to get the most bang for the buck or whatever. So now I just remembered this. Didn't you used to ride a bike? What was it? You posted a picture of like you had a bike.
Yeah.
And then you had an old Honda Accord.
That's right. I went from riding a bicycle. I mean, literally the first 12 years of our marriage, and then I upgraded to a Honda Civic for a year and a half. And then really real estate started kicking it. And I went from that to the Tesla. So
nice. And the Honda wasn't a brand new Honda, by the way. It had seen some miles. I've seen that picture or whatever, and so that's awesome, man. That's cool. So just so people know, and just so you know, Nate, this is not a time to be humble. Just so you know, but talk about some of your successes in real estate, just so people know that you actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you bet. So, I mean, just to tell you a little bit more of my journey, Dave, I mean, I actually got my start in real estate through a home equity line of credit.
Nice.
And that's a lot of what drew me to your companies, because that's how I got my start. I like to say my house, my first house, had babies. I got 2 rental properties from the equity in my property, but then I felt stuck, right? I mean, that buying rentals takes a lot of cash, and I was like, what do I do next? So I decided, hey, I'm gonna invest with a company called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, to try and get the education that I needed, that I knew I needed to succeed. And they're a lot like the circus. They come into town, they give you a good show for a few days, but then they leave town, and you're stuck wondering, like, what do I do next? So ultimately, I found a company called Renatus that has a lot of support, a lot of community, and that made all the difference. I went from 2 rentals 2.5 years ago to now I've just cleared over 30, and I've done
In 2 years?
a dozen flips. Yeah, in 2 years. So
I mean, that don't even seem real, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, it's just that's fast. I mean, that's pouring some gasoline on. That's cool.
yeah, and it's been great too, because Renatus gives you a full financial education. I got 2 $5 million life insurance policies, and I also have contributed. Have like 7 different retirement accounts, and have done a lot of deals in my retirement accounts. And anyways, it's been great to learn about how to manage my wealth once I gain it as well.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other topic. Yeah, I mean that's a problem in of itself. That's awesome. So we have a lot of pro investors that are clients because of our education, but then we also got a lot of people that are brand new that are just now getting access to money for the first time in their life almost, and they're like, hey, what do I do? So the internet's great. I mean, there's a million awesome things about the internet, but there's also bad things too. Where should people start? I mean, it's an information age, but where should people start as far as the real estate journey? What are some kind of tips on that?
Well, that's a great question, Dave, because a lot of people think, oh, I can just look stuff up on the internet, but the quality of the education that you might just find randomly looking it up is often very poor. It's usually a pitch for some other product. And so in my opinion, if you want to learn from the best, I mean, you do what I did. You go find a great mentor that's done what you want to do, and you get educated. You learn how to do it the right way, how to avoid all the pitfalls. I mean, most of the stories you hear about people losing money in real estate is because it's people that don't know what the heck they're doing, because they didn't treat it like a real occupation. They just thought they could just do it on the side and read a few articles and make it happen. But really, if you want to do it well and actually make serious money, you gotta educate yourself, and you gotta get a good mentor.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, I can tell you story after story, but I will say we just launched a podcast like 2 weeks ago on iTunes, and there's not tons of moving parts, but I wanted to make sure we did it right, because it's kind of like once we get it set up, then it's just upload a new episode, and you want to make sure that's right, and and so I went out and hired the geekiest dude I could find on real estate, or I'm sorry, on podcasting. And this guy, and I say geeky in a positive way, sometimes geeky, nerdy. I use that all the time, and somebody might think that's derogatory. I don't. I'm a nerd when it comes to marketing. I love it. But there's a guy named Dave Jackson. Shout out to this guy, Dave Jackson, that I researched, that big time podcast speaker and all that. I paid him for 2 hours, $199 an hour, to teach us how to do it, or teach me how to do it, to get it set up right. So I got $400 in it, but I did it right now. I know how to do it. And we're already getting people interested in booking calls with us because they heard our podcast already, but I did it right. I'm like, and I literally said on that the second call, I was like, I want to hire you one more time to make sure I cross all my T's and dot my I's. And just look over my shoulder and make sure I'm doing this right. So, that's kind of like, that's what success leaves clues.
Yep.
I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. I didn't make mistakes because I had this Dave Jackson guy. And same thing. I'm at my house right now, but across the street, I own that house as well. And I had a mentor, and I bought that house for $167, and it's worth $230,000 now. And tonight, my renter who lives there right now is going to give me my rent check or whatever, because it's the first of the month. And so, but I tell you that story because I was on the phone a lot when I was working on that deal, because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no freaking idea what I was doing, but I had a mentor. His name is David Criswell. So that's awesome, man. So, all right. What are some of the misconceptions of real estate? What are some of the things that people think are true and that's not the case?
Well, I think probably the biggest misconception people have is they think they need to have a lot of money to invest in real estate. In actuality, yeah, it's not true. You need the knowledge, the education. You need the relationships, the team, but when you have those two pieces, like I just recently did a webinar where I showed people, 4 ways to get deals without any money out of their pocket. I mean, there's so many ways to do it. You got to be creative, but it's not that hard once you figure it out. It's you can get all kinds of deals without any money out of your pocket.
My first 2 real estate deals, one of them was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, from a guy named Jeremy. No money down. He heard me from a radio ad, which doesn't work right now, at least 2018, I should say. It's because it's a seller's market. But and then he referred to somebody, to a coworker. He said, "Man, you treated Jeremy right, and we got a house here in Laverne or Smyrna, Tennessee. I'd love to work with you guys. We want to sell it." And I put $1,000 down. He actually wanted money, and so I gave him $1,000. But that was my first 2 real estate deals ever.
Yeah.
Never
you
done
don't need a lot of money up front, do you? I mean, I think another big misconception is that real estate can be risky. And, a lot of people ask me, they say, what about when the market corrects? And, I ask them the question, when's the best time to buy Valentine's candy if you want a discount? Not if you want to please your wife, but
right.
You want to buy it on the 13th, the 14th, or the 15th. Well, obviously, that you're going to get the best deal on the 15th, right?
Yeah.
And that's when the market corrects, that's when everything goes on sale. You get properties at a great discount. In fact, rental properties, rents go up because a lot of people are losing their houses, and so demand goes up for rents. So as long as you have enough in reserves, like real estate is actually the best when the market corrects and it goes down.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. What about time? So, I mean, when you started, were you still a professor? Were you still on a job, or did you just quit cold turkey and do your thing? And the reason I'm asking is, does it take a lot of time to actually get started doing this?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Dave. It's, I was working full-time as a professor when I got started in real estate. I've got over 100 people that I've helped and coached into real estate investing, and I'd say 95% of them have a full-time job. So really, I think what you need is to be consistent. You need 10 to 20 hours a week to put into this, to be consistent at it, to learn the ropes and to start making offers and getting deals. But if you can just do that consistently, you can keep your full-time job and start investing as an active investor right away.
I will say I've interviewed a decent amount of your clients, not clients, your partners, not clients, of your partners that you've helped do real estate deals with or whatever. And so you've got several of them. So it's you're starting to get a track record of helping people actually do that or whatever. So, cool. What are some questions? I mean, what else would you like to share with our community about as far as real estate investing? I do know you got a program that's I think you're just now starting or something like that, called the Determined Dozen. I don't know a lot of detail about that, but tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah. So, ultimately, I want to do more deals, and I do a lot of deals with my network. In fact, 95% of my deals come from my network. And so I'm wanting to help 12 people get started in real estate investing. You know, people that have at least 10 to 20 hours a week who really want or are determined to make a difference in their finances this year. And I've got a really special program that I'd love to show you about, show you what it's about. If you just go to investwithnatelambert.com, that's investwithnatelambert.com. You can check it out and see all the details about the program and how I'm going to help, for a year, really turn people's finances around through real estate investing.
That's awesome. All right, two quick things for our community. We're going to call this a day. One is I would friend Nate on Facebook and get to know him. Don't be afraid to send him a message about real estate investing, that type of thing. The reason why I say that is because go check out his post. I mean, you post some really cool stuff a lot of times. That's why Michael and I finally reached out. We're like, okay, man, this education is like really good. And so just go look at it. I'm not saying go buy his program, although I think you should, but this is not like some big sales pitch for that. What I mean is go friend him on Facebook and look at his free stuff that he shared or what he's doing in his personal life. Go into our Facebook group and there's a search button. Type in Nate Lambert, and then look at his post in there as well. Like get to know him or whatever. I would say that. And there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it is. But that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing I would say. Just get to know him, and then if you got questions, if you're looking for a mentor, it's the quickest way to success. We have a successful. I mean, now we've got like. Almost a couple thousand downloads now on our, a couple thousand downloads on our podcast. And, we got that because Dave Jackson helped me, so we found a mentor. So.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Dave, I'd love to help any of you guys to get started. I know it can be scary at first, but, with the right help, I'd love to help make it happen for you if you want to be one of the determined dozen and really make things happen in your finances through real estate investing. Again, just check out investwithnatelambert.com and friend me on Facebook. I'd love to connect with you.
All right. See you guys. Take care. God bless.
God bless.